to nafeesah.films. I am nafeesah and this is episode 4 of my cozy creative corner of the internet. So in today's video I will be reviewing and discussing my painting processes for this particular painting. So as I said in the previous video, I don't know if you guys have watched, but this is basically the last part of this painting. I have filmed the entire painting processes. If you guys want to see how I've gotten to this particular point, please watch the previous videos. Like I said before, this is my most complex painting as a self-taught painter, right? I usually do these smaller studies where it's a small piece of paper that I just paint on and then I'm satisfied with it. But this time around, I've decided that I wanna start a collection, right, of all these type of wild animal paintings where they feel kind of up close and personal to you. In real life, they don't really get that close and personal to you. That is basically what I'm going with for the broader theme of what I want audiences who see this painting to feel like they're up close and personal with this wild, strong, courageous animal. Right? Yeah, so today I will be answering some questions. I will be speaking about my thoughts, my feelings, challenges, doubts, fears, all of those things for this particular painting. I'm just gonna start off by saying that I am really proud of this painting. Because as a self-taught painter, I don't really have much experience with painting, with color mixing. Yeah, I only have some experience with sketching and pencil drawings, like I said, but it's also not any experience that I've received from an art institution. So basically I am on this journey alone. I'm using YouTube as my resource guide. I'm really just trying to put my focus into this painting journey of mine, especially for this year, because I want to complete multiple collections. I completed this painting in 3 days, right? That just opened my eyes to what I can actually do if I actually just commit myself. And this is why I created this channel, is so that I can hold myself accountable for achieving all of my artistic dreams. So I'm gonna get into the questions. I'll be sipping some coffee and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I have some questions on my phone, so I will just answer as I go. The inspiration behind this painting. Okay, so I was definitely inspired by the fact that self-love, courage, confidence, bravery is definitely something that we all have within us, right? Even though it's not blatantly displayed on the surface as we look at each other, maybe because some people are more insecure, more introverted, more shy, but I feel like deep down all of us have this type of wild animal that knows what it wants, that knows where it's going, that knows what their life needs to be. Especially for me in a creative aspect, I feel like this animal would be at the core of each individual. Like a wild, strong animal, regardless of how they view in society or regardless of how they even think that they view themselves. I feel like deep down, the strength of this animal lies within all of us. So that's my inspiration. I said this before and I'll say it again. This series of paintings are going to be tied to a dance work that I am going to be making soon. I've already started laying some foundations for the dance work, but I still need to get into the studio and I need to explore and I need to build it, construct it, and then hopefully it will be ready for stage. But basically the piece itself is also about finding your strength, finding your inner power, finding your inner courage, inner bravery. That is literally what the piece is about, and I thought what better way to complement that with some paintings of wild animals. Like I said, I'm starting now already, but I do eventually in my future want to heavily incorporate my artwork with my dance work. So this is going to be the start of that process. How did I prepare for this painting? So yeah, I did some research. I got some reference images from Pinterest of wild animals. I thought, let me just take one and run with it, and then this is the result. Also sketched out the proportions and some of the important line work, such as the eyes, nose, mouth, so that I know proportionately where things go, so that when I start putting paint on, I'm not confused and I'm not struggling, and I know exactly in which direction I'm going. I did some sketches with a normal HB pencil, I'm sure. Then I immediately went in with my black and white paint. I decided not to do any color for this collection because I feel like color is just gonna throw me off, and I feel like I have a really clear goal and intention for this collection. I didn't really do any small sketches of it. I felt like I just needed to trust myself, trust the process, and trust my art, and then this is where we ended up, which is a really good place, by the way. My goals and expectations for this painting was to let any audience member feel the presence of this animal. And I think, I don't know, I don't want to say this for my own artwork, but I do think that I might have achieved that in at least the smallest aspect. Nobody has seen this completed painting yet. I posted a small image on my WhatsApp so that those viewers could maybe get a hint of what I'm busy with, what I'm working with, since I always upload pictures of my art to WhatsApp. Because it's mainly my friends and my family. I posted if they would like to see a time-lapse, and there were some good responses, so I'll probably edit this video and then post the time-lapse on WhatsApp. One evening my fiance said he woke up and he got the biggest fright ever because he woke up out of his sleep and he saw this painting and he thought to himself, oh my goodness, this thing is real. And that for me was just the most perfect reaction that I could have had to this painting, because I want people to feel that fear, that intensity, that confrontation, basically. Yeah, I do want those feelings to be evoked throughout this process. Expectations. Yeah, I was expecting that I wasn't gonna complete it, but I think that's just me doubting myself again, like I regularly do. But I'm trying to be different. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to hold myself accountable, like I said. I actually completed this painting. I didn't expect that I would, but I knew that I'm gonna try and push myself as best as I can. I'm so beyond grateful and glad for this experience of completing this painting, because it really changed me. It gave me so much more motivation for my art, so much more inspiration and courage to just get painting and get it out there for the world to see. Definitely just focusing on black and white helped me to focus more on detail, intention and execution, instead of getting caught up in all the things related to color mixing and color theory, since that does scare me. Even though I have a lot of color paintings, it's still a no-go zone for me, and I feel like I really just want to perfect my black and white studies. I feel like there's something really powerful in that doesn't get distracted with all the color and all the shimmer and the glitter and glimmer. It's just focusing on the core elements of the artwork, and I really want to convey that for this. Next question. What are some of the biggest challenges I have faced during this painting? Some of the biggest challenges were definitely the fur. I don't know if you guys watched the previous time-lapse. Please do if you didn't. But I started off with all of the black dots that the leopard has, right? And then I realized along the way that I probably made a bit of a mistake, because I found myself covering up all the black again as soon as I put in the gray shades of fur. Then I needed to redo the black and redo the black because it was basically fading away. And I feel like the way I went about doing the fur was definitely evident that it was my first time. Like, if I had to bring this camera up close, you will see all the fur, little hairs and things, and it would look very detailed. But during the process, it was actually a bit difficult for me to achieve the look that I wanted to achieve, right? But I eventually did. And I'm sure as I continue doing fur and spots and stripes that I will eventually learn some techniques on how to achieve certain looks through an easier, less tedious way, right? But of course, this is about learning and failing and trial and error, and I feel like in this particular painting, I'm definitely embracing that. Because there were some parts that I felt like, oh my goodness, I don't think I can do this anymore. I don't think I have the skill, the ability, the technique to complete this painting. But then I just took a deep breath, went outside, got some fresh air, reminded myself of why I create art, came back, and I conquered this painting further. So that's my advice for you guys. If anybody has something, a dream or something that they really want to achieve, right? Personally, I think that you are closer to achieving it than what you are not, because your mind and your headspace are already there. Like, you already believing in, like, if you believe in yourself, that's half the battle won, right? And going into this, I believed myself like at 50%. So I was only 25%. I only won the battle 25%, which is a really low percentage to start on. But as time went, I really believed in my abilities to execute this painting. I'm gonna use my paint knife, my palette knife, palette knife. I'm gonna use this to point. So the other difficult parts were sections such as the mouth, the nose, the eyes, and the ears, right? And also like the fur here along the edges. That was quite intense for me, but then I realized I needed to just zoom into a particular part of my reference photo and focus on that part until I'm happy, or until I am at least almost happy. And then that is exactly what I did. And as I did that, I learned, or I discovered, that this is actually working, and I need to just take it step by step and trust the process. The most difficult part for me of this entire painting was the whiskers. Guys, if you think it's easy to paint whiskers, think again, try again, pick up that paintbrush, and then redo your whiskers, because painting whiskers is extremely difficult. But that did not stop me. It actually gave me more motivation to like achieve and to get this whiskers right, because how am I gonna have a cat without whiskers? Seriously, how am I gonna have a cat without whiskers? And then I just took about 2 hours just on the whiskers, and it came out like this. And I'm not completely finished with it. I still need to refine it a small bit more. Just before I varnish, sign, and frame this painting, I do need to just complete some details. I ate cold coffee, but anyway, I basically used black and white acrylic paint for this entire process. I only paint with acrylic as of now. I dabbled in watercolor, right? Not an expert there, but you don't become an expert on the first day you do something. But yeah, I felt really connected with acrylic paint, and it felt really easy for me to just build up my layers, build up my details, and then create this end product that you guys are seeing here today. Yeah, I basically started with my darkest darks, so all the black in the painting, and then, like I said, I realized I shouldn't have done the black spots, but I felt like for me it was easier to do all the black so that I have some sort of structure as a way to place the rest of the fur. But yeah, that wasn't the best decision, but it definitely taught me something for how to go about the next painting. And that's learning something along the way, for me, is always the goal. What do I think are the strengths and weaknesses of this painting? A strength, let me start with a weakness. A weakness of this painting could definitely be the whiskers, right? Like I said, I still need to refine some whiskers, and it was really difficult for me to do the whiskers, just because the line work should be so flowy and so thin, and painting that is so difficult. So I definitely think a weakness could be the whiskers, but I'm still really proud of how far these whiskers have come. I don't know if you saw the time lapse. I this was the last thing I did. I saved the most difficult for last, and I also saved the most detailed for last. So yeah, weakness, whiskers. A strength of this painting would definitely be the fur. Guys, I didn't expect my fur to turn out the way it did, but it did, and I am so happy. If you come up close, it looks kind of realistic, and I'm really proud of that. I think that is the strength of this painting, the fact that the fur looks realistic. All the fur here, especially the ones that are making up the frame of the animal on the outside of the ear, and also this ear here. The fur on the chin is something that I really like, so I'm really glad that I could achieve that look. What I would do differently if I had to recreate this painting, like I said, I'll probably start everything off with a mid-tone grey value, and then as soon as I apply the paint, immediately do it in such a way as if I'm already creating texture for the fur, right? I would do that with one grey coat, and then I would fill in the black, and then I would fill in the darker grey shadow sections, right? I would definitely go about it that way. I would also leave the eye, nose, mouth, ears, whiskers for last again. Like, I wouldn't want to be caught up with small tiny details in the beginning of my painting process, because I've reflected and I've realized that in some of the paintings that you see on the wall that I did do that was the paintings that I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on, using the tiniest bristles, and that wasn't working for me or for my painting. What have I learned from this process? Yeah, I definitely learned to trust myself more. I definitely learned to slow down, focus on one particular aspect that you want to perfect in the painting or in your life even, and then just bring all your focus there, bring all your attention there, and then just be intentional with your action towards it. Yeah, and that came from when I had to zoom in to particular places to refine some certain things because it wasn't looking right, or it was a bit off or something. I just needed to take a breath, take a moment, zoom in on what I wanted to focus on and what I wanted to achieve, and then go for it. So yeah, I think that's my biggest lesson for this painting. 1, trusting myself. 2, zooming into certain parts of my life that I really want to get a certain way, focusing on that, and then putting in the hard work, and then being proud of the result. Are there any new techniques and mediums that I would like to explore in my painting journey? I definitely want to explore oil paint, right? Every artist wants to explore oil paint. But the thing for me is oil paint is a bit on the pricey side. Oil paint takes a bit longer to dry. Oil paint is a bit scary for me personally. But hopefully one day in the future I will maybe take you guys along with the journey of me trying oil paint for the very first time. I heard the drying time is longer and you can spend a longer time on it, but that's the thing. I don't want to get caught up in spending weeks and months and years on a painting that I could complete in 3 days. 3 or 4 days to a week, right? Yeah, oil painting and watercolor would definitely be 2 mediums that I really would like to explore in. But I'm a bit scared, so I will stick to acrylic painting until I've mastered this, and then we'll move on to master some other painting mediums. What's next for me after this painting? I'm gonna continue to paint wild animals. That is what's next for me. I'm gonna continue to perfect my skills in this particular subject matter, and yeah, I just want to grow from there. So basically, you guys will be seeing a lot more wild animal black and white paintings for the rest of this year. I think this is what I want to focus on for this year. This might actually be my first painting of the year, guys. I think this is my first painting of the year. And if it's this, I'm really proud for what's coming next. What did this painting make me feel? This painting made me feel a lot of things. I felt some joy. I felt some frustration. I felt some art blockages. I felt that I'm not good enough to achieve this painting. That was a bit hard for me to go through and to feel through, because I really wanted to do this well. And I think I was a bit hard on myself throughout the process, and that's why I finished 3 days to kind of like prove to myself that I'm really able to do this. And that's my biggest flex about this painting, is that it was done in 3 days. Maybe I can push it for 2 days, because on day 1 I did go out to eat. Day 2 I did start a bit late and I was smoking weed. So imagine I didn't do all of that. Imagine I was up at 5 a.m. and then I went to sleep at 10 a.m. just painting the entire day. I would have finished it in 2 days, definitely. So I think I'm gonna challenge myself next time, push myself more. But I also don't wanna overexert myself, and I don't wanna like end up feeling burnout because I'm just doing too much. I feel like I still want to keep art as a relaxing, therapeutic process of mine, so I don't want to stress myself out too much by doing too much intense challenges in regards to this. So yeah, did I discover anything new about myself and my artistic growth in this painting? Definitely. So I definitely think that my style of painting might be animals at the end of the day. Like I've tried painting flowers. I do like painting flowers, but I don't know, maybe I need to give that another chance. But yeah, the paintings that I do have of animals is literally only the swans, a bird and a rat, like I said. And then I have some flowers, and I have some landscapes and some abstract work, right? So, and I also have like 2 portrait paintings, one of my fiance and one of myself alone. Yeah, I think this might definitely be the path that I want to go on. I definitely want to really immerse myself in black and white wild animal paintings. As the time goes on, you guys will see paintings of other things, but for now, this is what I want to focus my artistic voice on, and especially because it means a deeper meaning, such as inner strength, inner courage, inner bravery. So yeah, okay, so that's all the questions that I've got for you guys for today. Yeah, I just want to say that believing in yourself is definitely a fragile yet strong thing to do, because you're obviously getting emotional with yourself, you're getting close, you're getting vulnerable, and you're realizing that you can do this even though you feel this type of way, or even though society tells you this type of way, or your background or your influences or your family is saying all these things. The only voice that does matter, especially artistically and creatively, is the voice of your own, because that's at the end of the day the story you're wanting to tell, whether that's through wild animal paintings. People from the outside can come into my artistic space and view this painting and think that, why did she paint this leopard? Like, what connection does it have to her? But I'm telling you guys now that this does have a very deep connection to me, and not even my fiance knows it yet. I'm the only one who know it, and I want to keep it that way for a while until I am really confident in the work that I'm about to put out, because it is a really personal story. It's a really personal, close thing to me. So you might just look at someone's art and think, how does this relate to them, or how does this add to them as a person? But I'm telling you, most of the times it does really mean something important. And I feel like if you're going to create art, yes, you can create art for fun and enjoyment and therapeutic purposes and just for the sake of practicing, but you can also create art to tell a powerful story and to give viewers insight into your life and into your journey and into your story and your name and your experiences. And I think that is so important. I think that allowing people to get to know you on that type of level, even if it is through looking at the painting and reading the description of the painting, not knowing maybe the real story of where that painting actually stems from or whatever. So yeah, I think that artwork is this really powerful tool that we have as creatives to share our experiences with the world in a really intimate, intentional, personal way. The painting that these feelings are based off of is my feelings that I feel now, right? But I wouldn't be having these feelings now if I didn't go through something particularly heartbreaking and sad in the past. I don't talk about it a lot, but something happened and I was in a space that I wasn't feeling that I wasn't feeling any courage, any bravery, any strength, any perseverance. I wasn't feeling any type of feelings that are related to this painting, right? But I feel those now, and that's why I'm in a space now to create the painting based off something that happened that has transformed and changed me into what and who I am now. Yeah, that's my message for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm just sitting down and I'm just merely reflecting on my journey of this painting, and I think after each painting that I complete, I am going to definitely sit down and reflect, answer some questions, get down, get deep, get personal, and then I hope you guys can connect with my story and with my art in some type of way. If not, then you can maybe just view it for entertainment purposes, but this is really a space for creatives to have motivation and inspiration to just continue to create and put their self-expression out there. I hope you guys stay tuned for the next video. It will definitely be more informative, more inspirational, and I hope you guys enjoy the content that I'm putting out. If you're seeing this video, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe. I really want to hear from you guys. I really want to hear what you think or how this painting maybe spoke to you. Much love, and stay cozy, stay creative, and always remember that it is very important and very beneficial to your heart, to your mind, to stay self-expressive. So yeah, that's all I want to leave you with for today. I hope to see you in the next video.